to another episode of Sports Night in Auburn. I'm Michaela Kelly.
And I'm Grace DeLeon. We have a lot in store for you today. Basketball, gymnastics, baseball, and much more.
The Auburn men's basketball team suffered another tough loss on the road this weekend and fell to 3 in the AP poll because of it. The Tigers traveled to the Swamp to play Florida on Saturday and lost to the Gators 62-63. Jabari Smith led both teams in scoring with 28 points. He also added 7 rebounds and a block to his stat line. Tyree Appleby for Florida shot the lights out down the stretch to propel the Gators in front and finished with 26 points.
Walker Kessler was not his usual self. Kessler finished with only 11 points and 0 blocks. Kessler is still just 4 blocks away from the school record in block shots in a single season. Auburn is still in the lead of the SEC and has a 1-game lead over Kentucky.
They hope to get back to winning ways tonight at 7:30 against Ole Miss in Neville Arena. Ole Miss is currently 13-14 on the year and 4-10 in the SEC this year. Auburn has already beaten Ole Miss this year 80-71. Here's head basketball coach Bruce Pearl and what he had to say before the game.
You know, it's a team that's capable, obviously very well coached. They got 7 guys that can make the three, and they're shooting 3rd in the league right now in three-point percentage at 36%. And so I think that's what makes them dangerous. That's what made Florida, dangerous. And obviously in late game situations, Florida lined us up and pulled on us in late games and made some tough 3 balls. And I think you're going to see that from people because of our interior defense. So that's going to be a huge part of our defense and our focus. And then Ole Miss guarding their offense. They do a really, really good job. They've got great half-court sets, and it requires a great deal of effort and energy, to be able to guard them. Defensively, we were good again against Florida, but we have not been at our best on the offensive end the last couple of weeks. I mean, that's an area we need to definitely shoot better from, and we can always get better looks. We got to make a higher percentage of the ones we get that are open, and sometimes it can be one of the things that is a difference maker. Again, Florida made 5 or 6 really tough contested lay shots in the shot clock that won the game. And, we're going to continue to work at it. And when we start making some of those shots, we'll be playing better. And so I thought our guys practiced really well yesterday. We got a lot of good things done. Our guys, they want to win a championship. And they know they got 4 games left in the regular season, and we got 4 tough games, and so they practiced, they competed, they're communicating with each other.
When we come back, we'll talk about the start of the baseball season, gymnastics, and the rest of Auburn sports. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn. Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. Over the weekend, baseball started their season with mixed success. The Tigers dropped their first game against Oklahoma with a score of 0-3. Auburn got in the win column in the second game against Texas Tech, defeating them 2-1. Bryson Ware and Sonny DiChiara each contributed a run in the winning effort.
Auburn then turned their attention to Kansas State on Sunday. The Tigers dominated from the first pitch, going on to win 12-1. Blake Rambush led the charge with 4 runs. The baseball team plays against Troy at 5 p.m. today in Plainsman Park.
Auburn Gymnastics traveled to Athens on Friday and defeated the Bulldogs 197.175 to 196.3. This marks just the second time Auburn has ever defeated Georgia on the road.
Suni Lee was dominant against the Bulldogs. The freshman swept all 4 event titles en route to her 4th straight all-around title with a score of 39.775.
Sophia Groth earned second in the all-around in her first ever meet competing in the event. The freshman tied her career high on the floor with a score of 9.95.
The Tigers will be back in action on Friday when they take on Kentucky inside Neville Arena.
Last Thursday, the women's basketball team lost to number 1 South Carolina 38-75. The Tigers did not have a player reach double-digit points.
On Sunday, Auburn returned home for another game against a top 25 team. The Tigers welcomed the Georgia Bulldogs to Neville Arena and pulled off the upset win, 65-60. The Tigers were led by Honesty Scott Grayson, who had a game-high 23 points and 5 steals.
The SEC Swim and Dive Championships wrapped up over the weekend. Auburn finished in 7th for women and 6th for men. The Tigers finished with 3 medals across the week after finishing with none last year. Reed Makuta stole the show for Auburn, bringing home 2 medals. Makuta took bronze in the 100 breaststroke and silver in the 200. He broke the Auburn program record in both.
The other medal came from the 200 free relay, where Auburn finished with bronze. The team now turns their attention to NCAA qualifiers and the championships throughout March.
Auburn soccer began their spring exhibition schedule this past Saturday at home against Kennesaw State University. The Tigers won the match 2-0. Auburn was aided by goal from Anna Haddock and J.C. Silhan. Up next for the Tigers is a neutral site game against Clemson in Atlanta. The game is set to kick off at 10:30 a.m. Central Time.
Men's tennis faced off against Middle Tennessee State University last Thursday. The Blue Raiders took down the Tigers for Auburn's first loss of the season. MTSU won 4-2. Each match was closely contested. Next up for the men's tennis team is the Blue-Gray Classic in Montgomery, Alabama. The Classic takes place over Friday and Saturday, the 25th and 26th.
The women's tennis team took home the win in their only match of the weekend against Tulane. The 13th ranked Tigers won 5-2. They have the next week off from competition. Then the SEC portion of the schedule starts on March 4th against Vanderbilt at 3 p.m. at home. Auburn women's golf participated at the Moon Golf Invitational in Melbourne, Florida. The Tigers placed 7th as a team. The Tigers had 3 golfers place in the top 20 individually.
Michelle O'Berry finished in 13th after shooting 1 below par. Julie McCarthy shot even over the weekend en route to 14th, and Kaylee Telfer finished in 18th after going 2 over par.
The women's team will compete again next week from Monday to Wednesday in the Darius Rucker Intercollegiate held in South Carolina.
After taking the past week off from competition, the men get back into action March 6th for the Tiger Invitational. When we come back, we'll talk about Auburn and the NBA. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn. Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. 3 Tigers have received invites to the 2022 NFL Combine. Cornerback Roger McCreary, linebacker Zacoby McLean, and safety Smoke Monday were 3 of 324 players to receive invites.
The Combine starts Monday, March 1st in Indianapolis and runs through March 7th. In addition to the 3 Tigers who finished their careers at Auburn, they will be joined by former Tiger quarterback Malik Willis, who finished his career with Liberty. The NBA entered the All-Star break this week. Though no Tigers made the All-Star game, Isaac Okoro played for the Team Barry in the Rising Stars game.
Team Barry took home the Rising Stars trophy, defeating Team Peyton in the first round and Team Isaiah in the championship game. In the first round, the teams raced to see who could get 50 points first. Okoro scored 6 points and added an assist, a rebound, and a steal.
The championship was a race to 25 points. Okoro recorded 2 assists in the championship game.
For more information on Auburn athletics, be sure to check out our website at eagleeyeauburn.com and stay up to date on all things Auburn sports on our Twitter at EETV_sports. I'm Michaela Kelly.
And I'm Grace DeLeon. Thanks for watching, good night, and War Eagle.